So I'm going to follow the plea agreement today or the sentencing, but I'm going to tell you that I can't wait for you to violate. I'm looking forward to putting you in jail for the maximum possible time. So violate, give it to me. Because the minute you violate, I'm putting you in county for the maximum possible time. I want to be clear. I want to make sure you understand. Give it to me.
DA3424, appearing on behalf of Mr. Halfman, who was present in the courtroom. Mr. Halfman, please state your name.
Matthew Hoffman. And Matt Key is on behalf of probation.
All right, so we're here today. Well, is the sentencing also supposed to be set today, Mr. Keys?
He's scheduled for sentencing as well as the bond violation.
Yeah, so we had an allegation he violated the terms of his bond. One of the terms of his bond was he was to have no contact with Alicia Halfman. And the allegation alleges that defendant contacted the victim, Alicia Halfman, by phone from probation officer's phone on 9/24 and had Ms. Halfman send an email to the probation on 9/24 on his behalf. Mr. O, how are we proceeding on this?
Bond violation, Judge, it was my understanding from the court, it stated explicitly no contact with the children, whether it be supervised or unsupervised. There was no mention of order between Alicia Halfman, his wife. Alicia was also not a complaining witness in this case. It was just the children.
I have my bond conditions are. The bond conditions are, and the bond conditions that he was given. Do not assault, harass, intimidate, beat, or wound. She's listed here. Hold on. Do not have any contact. Do not have or cause any third party to have any direct or indirect contact with the following persons: Cooper Halfman, Alicia Halfman, and Makia Halfman. That's what's on the bond paperwork.
Understood.
I'm reviewing it.
That's
Mr. Keys, was he given a copy of the bond of the conditions?
I'm assuming he was given a copy upon release from custody, but I cannot confirm that.
Do your client get a copy of his bond conditions, or normally given to them upon release?
So I can speak on that. The bond violation allegation only came about after Mr. Halfman was in the probation department and allegedly called the number associated with Alicia Halfman. After that, Mr. Keys contacted Mr. Halfman a day or two afterwards and said, Mr. Halfman, I'm going to violate you. You violated the no contact order, and Mr. Halfman was equally as confused as I am. And also, we're not necessarily conceding that there was a bond violation allegation.
Judge.
I'm sorry, Mr. Oh, you broke up there. What'd you say?
For a second.
Breaking up.
If I may,
You're breaking up real bad.
if I may speak while his connection is fixing, I would just to kind of reiterate Mr. O's point. She may have been listed on the bond conditions, but she is not a victim in this case. She was not even present when the crime was committed. I'm not, so I can't say for sure, why she was listed as a no contact person, but we may want to even address whether that should be a condition of probation or not, because again, yeah, she was not even present for when it happened. The concern is between him and his son. And that was, what this case was about and everything else. If he and the mother have a working relationship at this point still, I don't know that we need to forbid contact between them so long as he's honoring the other terms of the sentence agreement that he pled to.
So the prosecutor doesn't want to proceed on the violation?
For strictly for contacting the mother of the victim in this case, no. And I based on what I see, I don't see anything that suggests that he was contacting her to, intimidate or anything like that. So I don't think it's necessary to proceed on that no contact violation. And again, I'm open to addressing whether that should be a part of his sentence or not.
All right, well,
Matthews lift 29.5. Two. It has a.
Ed,
lace
Mr. Gazicki, you're not muted. All right, well, I mean, if the prosecutor doesn't want to proceed on the violation, there's no violation, so the violation's dismissed.
Thank you, Judge. No objection.
All right, so now, as to sentencing,
Judge, we have had an opportunity to review the report. There are no additions, corrections, or deletions. We're asking the court to follow the agreement.
anything on behalf of the people?
Your Honor, likewise, no additions, corrections, or deletions. The people would ask the court to adopt the terms of the agreement.
Mr. O, anything you or your client want to say before I impose sentencing?
No, Judge.
All right. All right, Mr. Happen, this is the second time you beat your kid. You have a conviction in 2019 for child abuse. I mean, menacing charges, pending, disorderly conduct charges. And you take absolutely no responsibility for what you've done. No, you don't. I'm reading the report. Mr. Hackman does not accept responsibility for his actions and offer justifications for his actions numerous times over the course of the interview. He minimized his role in the offense and claimed that the victims were not being truthful in their reports. He minimized his role in the, he reported that he only pled guilty to get out of jail. He disputed nearly everything that was listed in the police report. The defendant has a history of violence, with domestic violence charge being amended to a disorderly conduct, a prior child abuse 4th degree. He reported the prior child abuse occurred when he spanked his child. However, the police report for that offense indicated that the victim had bruises on his eyes, face, and arms. And this allegation, you were choking an 11-year-old? Is that what it was?
I do not recall the age of the victim in this.
This is a second offense. The prosecutor offered a plea agreement to a year probation. And I have a problem with that sentencing agreement. I've got a guy in front of me who's got prior assaultive convictions, a prior assault for beating a kid. He's here today again for choking a kid, and he gets a year probation. I mean, how many chances does he get? Do we wait until he kills a kid before he gets some jail time?
Well, Your Honor, I did state this at the time of the plea, and I'll state it again. You know, his guidelines are probationable. There were no injuries in this case. And the mother, Alicia Halfman, who we've just discussed, was not interested in pursuing the case or pressing charges. Based on all of those factors, we did determine that this was an appropriate plea offer for this case. The hope of my office is that he will take the alcohol counseling and the parenting classes seriously and turn this around and become a good father for his children.
What happened? There's a sentencing agreement. The best thing you could do for your children is stay away from them. Because you've got a problem. You should go to jail today, but I'm gonna follow the sentencing agreement, because if not, you withdraw your plea, and then your wife doesn't bring the kids in to testify, and the case ends up getting dismissed and you get nothing. So I'm gonna follow the plea agreement today, or the sentencing, but I'm gonna tell you that I can't wait for you to violate. I'm looking forward to putting you in jail for the maximum possible time. So violate, give it to me. Because the minute you violate, I'm putting you in county for the maximum possible time. I want to be clear. I want to make sure you understand. Give it to me.
I understand, Judge.
Fine of $50, court costs of $50, state costs of $50, crime victims' rights fee is $75, probation oversight fee of $450, community service fee of $10 a day for a total of $100. Total due $775 to be paid in a payment plan, 12 months probation, 10 days community service in the city of Taylor as directed by probation and provide proof. Additional 2 days of community service ordered on, is this still in here, or is that from that?
That was for the previous bond violation that he had on the 24th of September.
What was that one for?
tested positive for alcohol.
Oh,
and
this is
marijuana.
good. Okay, good. So he's working towards it. Okay, good.
Excuse me, ma'am.
All right, I see it. Okay, you've already done those 2 days?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I'm reading in the sentencing, but you can provide the proof to Mr. Keys that you've already done that, okay? And you'll
Yes,
get
ma'am.
credit for it. Additional 2 days of community service order on 9/24 at bond modification hearing. Abstain from the use or possession of alcohol or controlled substances unless prescribed by a physician. Documentation will be required. And that's for the term of probation with random drug and alcohol testing as deemed necessary at your expense. You'll complete outpatient substance abuse treatment as directed by probation and follow therapeutic recommendations and provide proof. You'll complete anger management as directed by probation, follow all recommendations and provide proof. Mr. Keys, what's the longest class they have?
I believe. I need to look to see if it's 26 or 52 weeks.
I'm writing longest class. You'll complete parenting classes as directed by probation and provide proof. You'll obtain employment and provide proof. You'll comply with the CPS order. You'll have no contact with, so the prosecutor has no objection to him seeing his wife, right? Alicia Halfman?
No, I have no objection to speaking or contacting Alicia Halfman, yeah.
All right, I'm striking Alicia Halfman from the no contact order. You can have no contact with Cooper Halfman, Maddie Halfman, or McKeo Halfman. No weapons or ammunition, clear outstanding bench warrants, no driving without a valid license, and order for fingerprints if applicable. I'll see you soon, Mr. Halfman, and when I do, come prepared.
All right.
Anything else?
Nothing for the people, Judge.
Not from the fence.
You're done. I'll see you next time.